Alright, today we are testing out the Infinite Discs Emperor. We are testing out two different blends. You're looking right now at the Swirly S blend plastic. We are also testing out the Garrett Gurthie edition, which is a C blend metal flake plastic. Very overstable disc from what we've been told, and you can see here from the rim depth and the underside of this disc that there's going to be some stability involved with it. Beautiful looking disc, has a sharp profile to it, very similar feeling to a Destroyer. This particular Swirly S blend has a good amount of grip to it. Let's take it out and see how it performs.
All right, the wind is out, so we brought the stable disc out too. There was a constant wind with gusts up to 15 to 20 miles per hour. So here we go with some exploratory throws. The main disc that you'll see us testing today is the Double G's Signature Emperor. And there's going to be some Swirly S blend throws in the mix too. You can see these flat shots that kind of look and act like hyzers, but they're not. They're just that stable. Here we got a side-by-side of this laced shot. And you can see that the Swirly S blend is less stable, but it still comes back and gives you that full finish. The -1 is also seen on the hyzer shots as they turn up ever so slightly in the beginning of the flight, but they always come in. You'll see here, this right here is more so of a hyzer, but you'll see where it lands and how far left it travels after that. Here you're going to see the anti-shot, and you can see the -1 help keep the disc penetrating for longer before the disc actually finishes. You want to see another shot here. It's the different day, same shot, nice anti, and you get just about the same results. So let's talk about why we bring out an overstable high-speed driver. If you're Double G, then your reasons will differ than those of us mere mortals. But you're looking for a fast flight with a guaranteed finish. I think we're getting that here. Sometimes you can be overconfident and lead to some off-axis torque and laying off a bit of an understable disc. But the Emperor, being a stable disc as it is, did the opposite. Felt like I could really give this a good snap and not have to worry about knocking it off course. These forehands are mostly going to be anti-forehand flexes, mainly because of the stability of the disc and the conditions that we're throwing in. You can see both of the Emperors on forehand are still acting very stable. The Double G version, of course, acting more stable and coming in a little bit stronger than the S blend.
All right, here we have the Emperor in the field. These first couple of throws you're going to see are the Garrett Gurthie Signature Edition Emperor that we're throwing. That first one was just to get an idea of what happens when you throw it flat. I only got it out about 260, and then on the way back, it definitely had a lot more carry once I got on it a little bit more. So that let me know that there's definitely some glide to this disc, even though it's going to be very stable. Throwing it flat or with a touch of anhyzer, it still works out easily into a pretty stiff headwind coming in that direction. With the tailwind here, I expected it to kind of fight out a little bit early, which it did, but I was able to score the winning goal right there, as you can see. Now comparing these two, this is the Signature Edition, and we're going to see the Swirly S blend. This is more of a hyzer shot, which you don't really need to put any hyzer on this disc. It's going to fight back. Here we have our laced line view of the Swirly S blend, and you can see it just got a little bit more glide and doesn't have quite the hard skip action when it gets to the ground, but it always finishes. For forehands, this disc will take all the torque you want to give it. It'll hold up to any type of power. Again, throwing into headwind here coming this way, no issues whatsoever. And I'm able to get some pretty good flights out of it. So there's definitely a good usability to the disc. Throwing it out on some hard anti and just letting it fight its way back over. That's such a reliable finish, and that's a great thing to have. Again, just throwing over some forced over forehand lines, which you want to work in the woods in different situations. This disc will absolutely perform really well on those particular lines. So we use a 4-tier system when doing a final review. The disc can either be in the basket, in the bag, in the trunk, or in the garage, depending on how they performed individually with us during our testing.
The Infinite Disc Garrett Gurthie Emperor is getting a rating of in the trunk. But wait, there's more. The Infinite Disc S Blend makes the rating of in the bag. Now let's talk this through. I am not Double G. That's all that needs to be said about that. I don't know. So for my style of play, I'm going to have to choose the stable but less stable Swirly S Blend Emperor in my bag as a mainstay. Confidence when a disc is in your hand is key, and the S Blend gives me everyday confidence. The Double G version gives me windy day confidence and will always make an appearance in the bag if the wind is as much as in the forecast. I can manage both, but the workability of the S Blend suits my typical core strategy the most. I'm becoming a fan of the same mode, different flights, so having both of these in the bag can give my hand a familiar grip. That's why it's in the trunk and in the bag.
The Emperor from Infinite Disc is getting a final rating of in the bag. Now, we did test out both the Garrett Gurthie Signature Blend as well as the Swirly S Blend. And for me, the one that made my bag was the Swirly S Blend Plastic. This mold overall, it's very reliable. You have no questions as to what it's going to do once it leaves your hand. It wants to get left if you're a right-hand backhand player. If you're throwing it on a forehand, it wants to get right. Throwing it into some pretty substantial wind, there was no hesitancy in putting this disc on different angles, including hard anhyzers and turnovers, and knowing that it was going to be reliable and that it was going to finish each and every time. That's a shot that, even though I don't have a great arm or a big arm, that's something that you need to have in the bag to be confident in those situations, and that's why it's going in the bag. We here at Ace Run Productions want to give a very special thank you to Infinite Discs. They supplied us with the disc that you saw during this review video. The link in the description will take you right to that disc if you're looking to pick one up today. Head on over to infinitedisc.com for all your disc golf needs. Thank you everyone for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate the support. And as always, from Ace Run Productions, let's get excited for some disc golf.